If you are a Pilates instructor, a Pilates studio owner, or maybe you're a Pilates instructor in training and you feel a little lost with how to approach social media, then this video is for you. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name's Aileen and I'm a certified Pilates instructor from Miami. Be sure to subscribe because I post one new video every single week. I started my Pilates teacher training journey in 2020, and prior to becoming an instructor, I worked in digital marketing at a record label for nearly 8 years. I have a master's in marketing and I'm currently the social media manager for a well-known Pilates business, and I also run all of my own marketing for my own Pilates business, Pilates on the Green. Having social media intertwined with my passion for Pilates is honestly the best of both worlds to me. And in this video, I'm going to share with you everything that I know in the simplest way possible. There's a reason why there are courses and degrees for social media marketing, because there really is so much to it. In this video, I'm going to try and keep things simple, but we do have a lot to go over. So I recommend watching this video when you're not in a rush and maybe you can jot down some notes. So go ahead and grab your matcha, grab your coffee, your drink of choice, get cozy, and let's chat. Showing up on social media is not something they go over in Pilates teacher training programs, yet it's almost an essential part of choosing this as your career. Without social media, you mainly rely on word of mouth and the studio that you may work for in order to start building out your schedule, especially if you are a newer instructor. The reality is that when you first start teaching, your schedule may be very light, and it takes a lot of time and energy in order to build out your privates and to start filling up your group classes. If you're in this position, just acknowledge first and foremost that this is very normal and do not worry. There are many areas that I can dive into when thinking of social media as a whole, like your website, CRM, SEO, analytics, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to be talking specifically about social media strategy for Instagram, because I think it's going to be the most relevant to most instructors. Now, I choose to prioritize YouTube because it's my favorite platform, but you can go ahead and use this information and mold it to whichever platform you want to show up on, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you want, you can mold it in any way that you see fit. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is determine your goal, your why. Why do you want to show up on social media as a Pilates instructor? It's a very important question that you should be asking yourself. Is it to build an online presence to gain clientele? Is it to promote your own Pilates business? Is it to build up and fill your group classes at the studio that you work for? Is it to connect with other instructors in the Pilates community? Maybe it's to find workshops, continuing education credits. Maybe it's to learn from other accounts and find Pilates inspo. And it can also even be maybe you have the desire to work with clothing brands and grip socks brands and affiliate marketing in the Pilates entrepreneurship world. There's really no right or wrong with what your goal is, and it can also be a mix of some of the options I just listed, and it also could be something that is not on this list. But determining your goal or your top 2 or 3 goals for why you want to show up on social media is going to make it very clear for you on how you show up. Now listen, taking your social media seriously can be a part-time job in and of itself. It can be very time consuming. If you teach full time and you see over 30, 35 clients a week, please make sure that you do not spread yourself too thin in order to show up on social media on top of all of the teaching hours that you're already doing. Especially also if you are a studio owner and you want to promote your Pilates studio, it may be best to outsource, because social media, if you do decide to take it seriously, it is very time consuming. It's not something that you can just brush over and look at if you own your own business or if you run your own Pilates studio. You already wear so many hats, and don't let this one be another one if you do not have the capacity for it. I personally wish I could apply everything that I'm going to share with you in this video to my own Pilates business, but quite frankly, I do not have the time for it, and I just do what I can. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of everything and go over some optimizations and profile setups that you can start to consider. And then from there, we will go into some strategy approaches. You'll start first by choosing the handle to your account. I personally chose to create a brand new Instagram account when I started my teacher training journey. I was honestly so embarrassed to post anything Pilates related on my personal Instagram account, which at the time was mainly just filled with like travel photos, personal photos, work events, and pictures of me with the Jonas Brothers. Realistically, that was basically what my personal Instagram account was. And when I started my Pilates teacher training journey, I knew I wanted to be present on social media, so I decided to just create a brand new account. The handle that I created was @Pilates Pilates with Aileen. Over the years, the past 4.5 years, I found myself eventually sharing a mix of not only Pilates, but also personal things going on in my life on this account. In terms of running, golf, my wedding, it just started branching out into more of a mix, and it wasn't just Pilates based. But in the beginning, it was strictly Pilates. So over time, I had started using my Pilates account and I completely stopped using my personal Instagram account. It was, I think, over a year that I hadn't even logged into the account and hadn't scrolled, hadn't seen what anyone was up to on that account. So I decided to delete that account and switch my Pilates with Aileen account back into my name, which is Aileen Michelle, and that is what my handle is currently. The reason I mention all of this is because there truly is no right or wrong with how you approach if you want to create a new account or merge your existing account into being a little more Pilates related. It's just something to consider based off of your personal preferences. You can create a brand new account or you can start molding your current account, especially if you have already an existing engaged community on your personal account and your existing account. That may be something to consider. So once you have your handle decided and which account you're going to be using, it will be time to optimize your bio. In terms of SEO, adding the keyword Pilates instructor or Pilates teacher into your name, like the title, not within the bio, the title where your name goes, will make a big difference. I'll put a screenshot here of exactly what I'm talking about if you're a little confused. So you have your handle, the title, and then your bio. So within your title, you can put your name, a little dot or a little slash, whatever you want, and then Pilates teacher, Pilates instructor. This will help with SEO. So when someone is searching for a Pilates instructor on Instagram, your account may be one of the ones that shows up because it's tagged. After your name and the title, I recommend putting that you are a certified instructor in your bio at some point. Whether you are an instructor in training, you can put that, Pilates instructor in training, that's what I had. And then once you're certified, you can put certified Pilates instructor. If maybe you went through a balanced body program, you can put balanced body, Pilates instructor, whatever you want here. Just place somewhere that you are a certified instructor. It would be helpful to include your city as well. You can choose to tag the studio that you work for or tag multiple studios that you are a part of within your bio. It's optional, but it may be helpful. So that way people can click on the studio name and find where you are on the schedule to book classes with you. After all this information, you might have a character limit depending on how much you've already written, but if you do have the space, maybe include something fun about yourself, something that sets you apart and that shows how unique you are, whether it's any specializations you may have. And if you don't have any specializations, that's okay. You can just put something that's maybe a fun fact about you or something that can help people get to know you a little bit better. The last thing that you're going to want to include is a call to action, whether it's putting the link to your group classes where people can sign up, or maybe it's a link to request a private session with you, or maybe even it's something as simple as DM me for private Pilates. It could be anything. Just be sure to include a call to action that people are taking the next step once they discover your profile on where they can book with you. Keep your bio simple, keep it to the point, and know that it will likely evolve over time. I've tweaked mine over the years and will honestly probably continue to do so as I see fit. All right, so your bio is ready to go, and now it's time to start following other Pilates accounts in the Pilates community. This is one of the best parts. Us instructors need other instructors. Whatever your main goal is, whatever goal you have decided is your top goal for wanting to show up on social media, the reality is that we can all benefit from connecting with each other, no matter what your goal is. We learn from each other, we grow with each other, we connect with each other, we inspire each other, and we find the humor in things that non-instructors can't relate to. So start finding and following accounts that you can look up to, that inspire you, that you can learn from. And from there, you can start building out your little Pilates community. You can maybe start commenting on their posts, maybe send them a DM and introduce yourself if you want to be a little more social than just giving them a follow. You can start interacting with their stories and basically start building a little hub of your Pilates friends. I'm connected with instructors from all around the world, and it's such a beautiful thing. And I actually think that my next Pilates instructor resource is going to be sharing my top 5 accounts that I personally love learning from and that I definitely recommend you follow. So let me know if you like that idea in the comments below. Now, I do want to mention a small dark side when it comes to following other instructors on social media. And I'm honestly not sure that this is talked about enough in our community and in our industry. Following other instructors can have a negative effect on your mental mental health and how you approach your career as an instructor. It can truly make you feel like you are not doing enough. It can make you feel like you don't have as many clients as this person does. It can make you feel like you don't have as many followers as they do. It can make you feel like you're behind with whatever goals you've set for your Pilates business. And it can also make you feel like you do not have enough experience or education when you compare yourself to the amount of experience that this person may have. It can be very easy to compare yourself to another person's highlight reel on Instagram and social media in general. So please remind yourself, do not go down that rabbit hole. It benefits no one. There is plenty of space for all of us to succeed. Use social media to empower other instructors, support their businesses, support their endeavors, and just make sure that it's not bringing you down. I'm guilty of this. It's happened to me, and it may happen to you if it hasn't already, and it is completely normal. But just please remind yourself, do not compare your beginning to someone else's middle. If social media and following other instructors does start to negatively impact the way that you open Instagram and open your social media apps, then that may be a sign to take a step back and just take a little break until you feel mentally strong enough to not have that affect you in that way. Okay, so now that we have your account all set up, your bio is optimized, and you're connected with other instructors in the industry, it's time to start posting. And I know posting can be very scary in the beginning. It can be totally cringe because that's what happened to me. When I first started posting, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? This is so awkward. I've been there, so don't worry. It gets better. I promise it gets better. Like if you watch my first YouTube video, you're gonna be like, wow, that was terrible, Aileen. And I feel like I've gotten better at talking to the camera and just showing up on social media. So with practice, it becomes a little more comforting to show up. So you can go about this two ways depending on your purpose and your goal for having an online presence, right? So you can post as you go, keep it casual, posting a video, a picture here and there, just little updates of your Pilates journey, or you can put together an actual strategy if you want to take it serious and growth is one of your goals. Full disclaimer, I have not posted on my Instagram feed in I believe over a year. I've continued to stay present on stories here and there, but I really have not had the time to post on my personal Pilates Instagram account. But when I first started the account, I was posting every single day, and I had a built out strategy, a built out posting schedule, and I never missed a day because I planned for the post. It made it very easy to stay on track with my posting schedule. My goal at the time was truly to just start growing within the Pilates community. Once I stopped posting, I mean, my account really hasn't seen that much growth ever since I stopped posting consistently. So it really goes to show you, if you stay consistent, it does make a difference. And the reason I don't post on my Instagram anymore is because I put a lot of social media effort into the Pilates business that I'm the social media manager for. And when I have the time, I also put that effort into my Pilates on the Green Instagram. So if you want to give Pilates on the Green a little follow on Insta, I would really appreciate it. Okay, but anyways, it was a lot of work in the beginning when I was going through my Pilates teacher training and I was posting every single day. I had my posting schedule, I was staying on track, but it was a lot of work. Most of those posts I have archived over the years, but my strategy was basically posting and sharing everything that I was learning from my teacher training journey. So I would learn an exercise sequence, I would learn the spring tensions, and I would basically put together little tutorials of what I learned and how I approached the exercise. I was also just documenting my entire journey along the way, so I would do little vlogs of going into teacher training weekends and all that fun stuff. But okay, because I appreciate you guys so much and because you are the most supportive and the kindest little community here on YouTube, I'm going to share with you the document that I created many years ago in my social media role at the record label and that I've continued to adapt over time. This was the template that I used for the artists in the industry that I would create posting schedules for and that I currently use now for my social media manager role. It is completely free to access. All you have to do is click the link in the description. It'll take you to the Google Sheet that I created with the template. Just make a copy of that Google Sheet and it'll save it into your own Google Drive, and from there you can edit it however you want. All I ask in exchange for this free resource is to please give this video a thumbs thumbs up and that maybe you leave a friendly comment below if you are finding this video helpful. Simply giving these videos a thumbs up and a comment makes such a difference, and it's truly a great way to support me and my channel, and I appreciate it so much. And since we are talking about social media, I'll explain why. Basically, when you like my videos and you comment on my videos, YouTube will push my videos out to reach more people. So the more views, likes, and comments my videos get, the more people that I can reach and help. Okay, so I actually have my iPad over here. I'm gonna open up the posting schedule so I can walk you through it just very quickly, just to give you a little like tutorial on how to use it once you open it in your Google Drive. Okay, so here's the template. This is just the little welcome message. It tells you to make the copy. Thank you for being here. All that fun stuff. In this tab, we've got assets and templates. Here, you can basically organize any links or files or creative templates that you put together. I use Canva for everything graphic design related. It's super easy to use if you don't already use Canva. Definitely recommend. But maybe if you have a logo for your Pilates studio or your business or any imagery you want to include to just make this look cute, you can put it there. If you do decide to use Canva, you can put any color codes. That way your branding stays pretty consistent across the board, and you can use the same color scheme throughout your different assets that you create. So you can put the color codes there for reference. Any logo files that you want to include, maybe your icon, your full logo. If you do a photo shoot or anything like picture related, you can put the Dropbox links here for the photos, just for easy reference. Any fonts that you use, you can list them here. And then you've got social template links. So if you have like a weekly schedule that you're gonna update every week, you can have the link to that Canva file there just for some easy access, maybe book a session. Anything that you wanna do, this is just gonna kind of help you organize all of your files. So that way you're not just going into all these different places to try and get everything, and it's all organized in one place. So you've got a strategy overview tab here, and I just put this information here as an example. You do not have to follow this specific strategy outline. This is going to be based off of 5 posts per week, which if you are looking to grow, 5 posts per week is a great place to start. So within those 5 posts per week, you'll find different content categories and the amount every week that you're going to be posting that category. Here are some examples. Anything Pilates education related. So it could be you teaching an exercise, it could be you learning an exercise, how you cue an exercise, anything like that. Something to entertain, maybe like a little aesthetic flow of you on the reformer or anything like that. Something to inspire, so vlog your daily life, show how many sessions you're teaching, maybe share a client win, anything like that. You can share a Pilates series, so maybe a carousel or a reel of an exercise sequence that you put together that maybe you taught in class that week that you want to share. On stories, it's really important that you show up, at least once per day, hopefully more. I've gotten so bad at this, I forget to post on stories, but when I do post on stories, I love it because I feel more connected to my community. And if you can remember to post on stories and not forget like I do, then that would be a great approach. Pilates humor is also an option here, maybe putting together like little gifts and just approach this as the inspo comes. And then anything for promotional use where people can learn more about maybe any announcements you have, any graphics. Usually graphics don't perform that well, so I just put this here as needed. I wouldn't rely on using graphics more than once a week unless you absolutely have to. Within these content categories, they basically come from these 4 content pillars, which are to educate, entertain, inspire, and connect. And you don't have to use these content pillars, but these are the ones that I have worked with in the past, and I find that it's a great balance. And from those content pillars, you can choose your content categories. So again, you don't have to use this to a T. You can kind of modify as you see fit. All right, let's move on to this tab, which is hook ideas. Here it's really simple. Anytime you have an idea that comes to mind or you get inspired by someone else, you can just jot down the hook idea and put it here. And then if you have any reference notes or links that you want to include, this can kind of just be like your inspo section. And then the last tab on this template is your posting schedule. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. So I just put November here because I'm filming this in November, but if you double tap it, I'm on my iPad, but if you're on a computer, if you double tap it, like it'll show you the calendar and you can just choose a different day/month. On the iPad, you can just type it in and it'll just, if I were to put like December 1st, it would change to December. So you can copy this section and paste it under the following months, so that way you can continue building out month by month your schedule. I like to work on a 1 month basis. So for my social media manager role, I try and have everything planned out for the following month. That way I'm a month ahead, and the day of a post, I'm not scrambling to find something to post. That obviously takes time and how you approach capturing your content. You've got your post date in this drop down, which content type based off of the categories that you choose for yourself, which one it falls under. You've got the category here, I basically put it as the equipment. So you've got mat reformer, tower, chair, ladder barrel, Cadillac, special populations in general. That way you can see kind of like the mix of what you're sharing Pilates related. And then your post type is going to be just what post it is. So if it's a reel, a carousel, a regular post, maybe it's alive. So here you can put your caption and any hashtags that you want to include. I like to include 5, maybe 10 hashtags. Try not to put any more than that, but just include them if you find them relevant. If you don't want to put any hashtags, I think that's okay too, but hashtags do help with visibility. All of the assets that I use, I typically upload into Dropbox, and then I'll put the Dropbox link within this tab here, so that way it makes it easy. But if you want to keep things simple, you can also just have it on your phone and not refer to the asset link. That's also an approach, just having the files within your phone, and then you can go into this template and copy your caption whenever you're ready to schedule it or post it. Here is basically any like reels. If you have any like bubble text on the video, you can place it here. That way when you go to edit and upload it, you already know what exactly is going to be placed on the text for the video. So that's an option. And then any inspo links, you can put it here. This is a little checkbox. If you posted it already, you can also change this to scheduled if you want to work in advance and schedule the post, or you can keep it as posted. And then what time you ended up uploading it. You can also put here a link to all of your files in case that's helpful. All right, so that is my little template. I hope that you find it useful and helpful. The last thing that I want to go over in this video is how you are going to gain clients from all of this information that I've just shared with you. It is not going to happen overnight, but it is going to happen if you remain consistent. Start tagging the studio that you work at in whichever post that you do. Ask if they can repost your posts on their stories and maybe even on their feed, so that way the clients of the studio start to see your name if they follow the studio. And when they go to book sessions, your name is a little more familiar, especially if you are just starting out with teaching. I only have about, I think, 600 followers on my Pilates on the Green Instagram account at the time of filming this video. And yet I see great conversion from social media on that account. The number of followers that you have, this is really important, so listen up. The number of followers that you have does not matter. I'm gonna repeat that again, just so it's like in your brain. The number of followers that you have does not matter. What matters is the value that you bring and how engaged your audience is. If you could have 500,000 followers, 1 million followers, like a crazy amount of followers, and only convert maybe 1 to 10 clients. Or you could have 1,000 followers, maybe less than 5,000 followers, but you can convert 25 clients from that following. Which are you gonna choose? Just some food for thought. To close off this video, I did wanna share a couple of final tips for you guys that I find helpful. The first one is, and it's the most important note, and I know I already spoke about this in a little portion of this video, but I need to reiterate it because it is very important. If you skipped any part of this video, hopefully it's not this one, please do not compare yourself to other instructors on the internet. I need to repeat that so many times because I fall victim of this, and I know other instructors who feel the same way, and it can be a lot. It can feel really heavy, and it does no one any good. It's only going to make you doubt yourself, and again, make you feel like you're not doing enough as a Pilates instructor. And we don't want that, right? We really don't want that. So at any point, if you feel like it's starting to become too much, just take a step back, stop scrolling, take breaks when you need to, and don't feel guilty about it. I used to feel guilty, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, my business is gonna stop growing. I'm gonna lose clients. Like, if I don't post on social media, that's it. it's the end of the world for me as a Pilates teacher, and that's really not the case. Like, don't feel guilty about taking weekends off from socials if you need to, not replying to a DM as soon as it comes in. It's okay. Like, just take a step back. Your attitude and your mental health are so much more important than social media. Like, social media is not life or death, people, okay? Like, don't take it that seriously. As long as your approach is lighthearted and you continue to remain consistent with that lighthearted approach, then good for you. I only scroll on social media now for educational purposes in the Pilates industry. It's to learn from my favorite Pilates accounts. Other than that, I don't really scroll, and I just find that it's better for my productivity. Tip number 2 is to try and reply to all of your comments and DMs. You don't have to reply to your DMs as soon as they come in, like I just said, but do try and get to them whenever you can. The point of social media is to be social. Connect with other instructors, connect with potential clients who reach out, and start to nourish those connections and relationships. You really never know how you can affect someone's life by showing up on social media, even if you've never met this person. Third tip I have for you is to be yourself. Don't copy someone else's ideas. You can use their videos as inspo, like I mentioned in my posting strategy sheet, and maybe tag their account if you want to create your version of a video that they uploaded and that you're kind of copying. But those inspo links really should be used as general inspo. You're not here to copy and paste someone else's idea. The reality is you wouldn't like that if someone did that to you. The last tip that I have for you is understand that social media is trial and error. Analytics is a whole nother monster, and creating the content that you post on social media is its own other section of this video that I really did not have time to dive into. So when you start posting, you'll start to see what works, what doesn't work, what time works for you to post, what time doesn't work, what content ideas work, what content ideas don't work, and that comes with time. And the only way that you're going to gain a knowledge on what works for you and your account is to start experimenting and to start showing up. So from there, you can learn to analyze and adjust your goals as you see fit. It's actually crazy, but I really only scratched the surface with all of this information. So if you're looking for more, maybe you can take a social media course or a certificate at your local university, or find a program online if this area really interests you. But I hope that this video is a good starting point. I also do offer one-on-one consultations, so if you have any specific questions for me that you want direct guidance on, I will include that link in the description below. And I think that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys next week for my next vlog. Bye.